Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the State House. We're so glad to have you here. Governor McMaster, thank you for hosting. As always, we appreciate you hosting this great event for the month of the military child. Dr. Kim Priester from the Department of Education is here as well. You can tell I've got a whole bunch of folks behind me from the various services that are here. Representative Bobby Cox and others that are here. Representative Brandon Cox is here as well. So thank you all for coming out and joining us today for this very important proclamation. I'm Todd McCaffrey. I'm the South Carolina Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary, and we want to welcome you here to the State House today to highlight the proclamation highlighting April 2025 as the month of the military child. Now, for some of you know, the month of the military child was established in 1986 by Secretary Caspar Weinberger to recognize the unique sacrifices and challenges faced by military children, many of whom are represented here today. South Carolina's commitment to the military children runs deep, and it's illustrated today by the sea of purple that's represented around all of us, and that sea of purple represents our joint force, all of our services, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Space Force. Each of those branches is represented in South Carolina, and each of those branches' children is represented in South Carolina as well. And as Secretary Weinberger noted when he established the date in 1986, the challenges these children face are often unique. These are kids who grow up in military families. They face frequent moves, the disruptions of friendships, and the ever-present concern that one of their parents, mom or dad, or these days perhaps both, could be called to deploy in defense of freedom on very short notice. Myself, having my wife and my wife's joined me here as well. Thank you. We raised 3 of our own kids in my 34-year career in the Army, and we moved 19 times, and we can attest personally to the struggles these kids face, having multiple moves, multiple schools, and we've seen that children, fortunately all our children, like all of you, are now adults and very successful, so they've survived that process. No thanks to me, all thanks to her, but we appreciate the work she's done. So South Carolina is committed to do what we can do to ease the challenges these kids face. Superintendent Ellen Weaver, represented today by Dr. Kim Priester, and the state's Department of Education, along with my agency, have been proud to work with the Military Child Education Coalition, also known as MSEC, to grow the number of districts and schools in our state certified as Purple Star schools. Now, these schools have been committed to supporting military children through staff education and programming to assist in managing academic requirements and the social needs these often nomadic kids face. We're exceptionally proud that South Carolina now has 15 Purple Star school districts and 6 more individual schools that are Purple Star rated in the state. And of note, 2 of those schools now are private schools that are Purple Star certified. I think it's the first in South Carolina. That list will continue to expand with your help with MSEC and the commitment that the state has to our military children. We know that we can't solve every challenge these kids face. We can continue to recognize their unique needs and commit ourselves to doing all we can to assist these children and the families as they serve our nation in South Carolina. So thank you today for taking the time to join us for this proclamation. We're exceptionally pleased to have you here. It's my great honor to introduce our Governor Henry McMaster, for some comments. Thank you, sir, for coming out today.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, I too, on behalf of the state, I want to welcome all of you young folks to the State House. Do you know whom this State House belongs to? It belongs to you. If you're in South Carolina, this is your State House. So you're welcome anytime you want to come. And one day you might want to run for office if you're still here. One day you might want to wear one of these uniforms since you see your parents deeply involved. But I want to say that these young people probably don't realize how different their lives are, their young lives are, from others who do not move 5 or 6 times while they're in, I don't know what grade it goes up to, maybe high school. I remember I was talking to a commanding general at one of our bases, said that he had moved, I think he said 19 times in his career. It might have been more than that. But they probably don't realize how different they are. But I remember when we would have a new student come in when I was in the 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, I remember we always had to look them over very carefully. And we didn't have such things as Purple Star schools back then. But moving from one place to another is rough. And I remember my daddy grew up in Florence, but his folks, his family, they moved up to Black Mountain when he was in the 8th grade. He said he never recovered from it till he got through at college. Just all that moving. But what these young people are experiencing is they see these uniforms going in and out of the house. They're experiencing something that most people do not experience these days and don't understand. And what we might not understand is we're here in this beautiful state house with air conditioning and everybody's had plenty to eat. There was many years ago, there were men, some women, mainly men carrying arms that told King George that we weren't going to work for him anymore. And there was bloodshed, there was fighting, there was battles all over this state. In fact, in those years, there were over 200 battles in the state of South Carolina alone. And the historians today, parents, say that this is where the Revolutionary War was won. Lord General Cornwallis said so himself when he was leaving Camden and later was at, I don't know if he was in Kings Mountain or I think it was Cowpens. He said, "It is over. These people will not quit." Now, they didn't have nice uniforms like these that you see here today, but they were uniform in their determination to build a country so our people could be free. So you young people, one day, as you're looking at me, everybody look up here, one day you're liable to be standing right here or right here. And it's because the military of our country, the men and women who have crossed the line that wear the uniforms, keep this country free and safe. So there's no end to what we owe them and you for making that possible. So we recognize that in South Carolina. We recognize we didn't get here automatically. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of young people deciding that they were going to go into the military. And I hope that you will do that as well. Think about it. It's very important. And I do have a proclamation that we drew up just for you. I won't read all of it because it's too long, but it's mighty good. And it says, as Dr. Priester, I'm going to give it to you in just a moment. It says, State of South Carolina, Governor's Proclamation. In 1986, I see some of you have glasses on. Me too. In 1986, former Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger designated the month of April as the month of the military child, an opportunity to recognize the contributions and personal sacrifices our military children make in support of the armed forces of the United States of America while their parents serve our nation. Whereas military children are the source of pride, earning our appreciation for the significant contributions they make in our schools, our communities, and throughout our state, despite prolonged and repeated absences by one or both parents. And whereas, because the average military student faces transition challenges more than twice during high school, and most military children will attend 6 to 9 different school systems throughout their lives, the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission is committed to resolving the educational transition issues that are faced by these children and their families, ensuring that they are afforded the same opportunities for educational success as other children and are not delayed in achieving their educational goals. And I'll finish up saying, whereas in 2025, observance of the month of the military child provides an opportunity to pay tribute to the thousands of military children in South Carolina who, through their strength and resiliency, are the heart and soul of the military family. Now, therefore, I, Henry Dorgan McMaster, Governor of the great state of South Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as the month of the military child and encourage all South Carolinians to recognize the duty we have to support these military children and their families, and to encourage all school districts with children of active duty reserve or National Guard families to become Purple Star schools to better understand and meet the needs of our military children across our state, to honor the courage and sacrifice of our military children who so faithfully uphold the American spirit, and to remember that when parents serve in the military, their children serve as well. Signed by me this day, Henry Dorgan McMaster, your proud, happy governor, on behalf of 5.3 million proud, happy South Carolinians who are proud of you. Doctor?
Well, hey, thank you again for recognizing these wonderful children here today. Governor, thank you again for recognizing the importance of this month and what it means to military families across the great state of South Carolina.